So relaxed. Like, I got him out of my car. He didn't kiss me. I felt great. I turned my head and I just see this guy, like he was charging like a hyena looking for prey, grabs my face and shoves his tongue. Hi my beautiful friends, it's Leah. Going to be doing yet again another story time video. So today I'm going to be telling you guys about the worst date that I have ever been on. If this person that is a part of this story decides to watch this, I'm just telling you right now, I'd rather you not. I'd rather you just like go on a walk, get some fresh air. Y'all think he's gone? Okay, like I said, my name's Leah and this is the life of Leah. Give this guy that I went on a date with a name. Let's call him, I was gonna say his real name. Let's call him Felix. I don't know, I like that name. Nope, he doesn't deserve a name that I like. We're gonna call him Trevor, okay? Trevor. The year of 2018 was a wild one for me. It was just a year where I was doing the most. I would never want to be home. I'd stay out till like 3 to 4 a.m. each night. I would just be a little crazy. I just got in a car, so I felt like I was free. I had money in the bank. Through all of this, I struggled heavily with anxiety, heavily with depression. So there was this guy and he had added me on my Instagram account and I didn't pay much mind to it. He had sent me a DM just saying like that he thought I was beautiful and all this stuff. Any story that I would post, he'd swipe up, send me heart eyes. You guys know, if you're a girl, you know. He lives pretty far from me. He lived like 2 hours away, but he actually works in the city that I live in here and there. So he would come into town here and there. And he had asked me out on a date. Okay, I'm coming this weekend. Can we please hang out? So I was looking through his Instagram because I never really like looked through it. And I did notice like he graduated college, he was in a career, you could tell he loved his family, he proclaimed to like have a relationship with God, which is always important to me. He looked super tall in his pictures, super fit. So it came to the day that he was here and I just told him like, hey, let's just meet at this super popular food place, we could just chill, whatever. So he agreed. And I start driving and immediately I'm already feeling that anxiety feeling. So I pull up, I parked pretty far, walk in there, I'm looking around and I do not see him anywhere. So he tells me where he is, I go to that exact same spot, I'm looking around and I do not see him. And obviously like I'm gazing more higher in the crowd because in the pictures like 6'2", do not see him anywhere. So I decided to just call him and I did. And he's like, oh my gosh, I see you, you're right there, you don't see me? And my eyes are squinting, I'm really trying. And he's on the phone, he's like, dude, I'm literally in front of you, like look in front of you. And I look up and I'm like, Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher, where are you? Am I getting punked? I'm getting punked. Where's the cameras? But then I had a humbling moment. Girl, since when are you famous? Since when are you a star? I was expecting this like, you know, macho man, and then I get there and I see Stuart Little. No, that was a joke, okay? Honestly, the heart is what gets me the most. Personality, if your soul, if your heart, if your intentions are pure, then I will give all my attention to you. So even though his pictures were a little different, it didn't like bother me. It didn't bother me. So we move along. He chose the place that he wanted to eat at. We sat on some bar stools. Let's start to get to know each other. So the talk was very mild. There was not a lot of flavor going into it. As we're talking, I can just tell like his focus is kind of more so on food. At this point, it's like 20 minutes since he ordered his food and he's like, I gotta say something, like this is ridiculous. But mind you, it was a weekend. And weekends are pretty busy for food places. There was a decent amount of people there, so I was like, hey, I'm sure it's gonna come out soon. And he stands up and he's like, I need to go tell them, like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, okay, I'm on a date with Karen, it's fine. He goes and asks them for his food, like, where has it been? They're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, here you go. So they place down his food, he starts to eat, and as soon as he takes like the first 2 bites, he's like, I'm not eating this. I can't eat this. This is cold. This was already made forever ago and they just forgot about me. This is cold food. So he gets up again and goes back. So he tells him, hey guys, like I need you to make me a new one because this one's way too cold. And they come to take his plate back. You know how it is, like when they mess up on your drink at Starbucks, you give them back the drink that you're not gonna drink, and then they make you a fresh cup and they switch it up. So that's what they were trying to do, like, okay, give us your plate and I'll make you a new one. Remember he said that he was not gonna eat it? Oh no. This dude was like, oh no, I'm eating this, but I want a fresh hot plate as well. So he comes back, he sits down, he's eating this food. He literally just told me that he was not gonna eat it, but then he started stuffing his face. And he was saying how good it was. He never had anything like it. So here they come with the hot plate, and he tells them, oh no dude, I'm not eating that. He was like, can you bag it up for me? Like I can't eat, I'm way too full now. This is the part that gets me. So the workers are bagging up his food, and there was a plate that was sitting on the counter of another person's meal, someone else's plate. As the workers are bagging it up, Trevor says, whose smell is that? He said, it looks really good. And the workers are like, oh, you know, we're waiting on the person to come pick it up. They haven't came yet for it. And he said, oh, can you bag that plate up for me too? He paid for one meal and finessed on two. Just the way that he literally had took someone else's meal, had them make him a brand new meal, and ate the meal that they made him to begin with was just like, I was just not. So this place where we went to go get food, it actually has like a lot of different sightseeing there. So we just started walking around, and I'm like, maybe, you know what, maybe he was just hangry. Maybe that was just a bad encounter. Start walking around, and the second we do, he puts his arm around me, not feeling it. He grabs my hand, not feeling it. Trying to be super like lovey-dovey, not feeling it. He's in his head thinking I'm gonna stay for another 2 hours. I'm trying to break it to him that I'm trying to leave in 5 minutes. Finally walk to my car, like we're about to pass my car. I'm like, hey, my car's right here. This is the perfect leeway. This was cool. I gave him a hug, thinking that was a hug goodbye, and I start like going towards my door to get into my car, and he had said, hey, like since you parked this far, maybe you could give me a ride so I don't have to walk. So I took him in my car, I drove him to his car, and since I was getting lightheaded already, I was starting to get a little anxiety. I had mentioned that to him, and he had mentioned like, hey, well just follow me on the freeway, you can follow behind me just so I can make sure that you get off the freeway safely. And I was like, sure, just so I can make sure like at least I know that there's someone looking out for me while I drive, that I don't pass out. So I pull up to his car, waiting for him to get out. I'm telling him thank you, and he's just looking at me, and I just knew. And in my head, I'm like, God, I know I have made a lot of mistakes, but do not, by the blood of Christ, please rebuke this guy from trying to kiss me, please. I'm literally talking to him like, just so we don't make like that direct eye contact. He gives me a hug goodbye and gets out of my car and shuts my door. He didn't kiss me. He didn't kiss me. Thank you, Jesus. You're on my team. As I'm like doing my little dance, I hear the passenger side door of my car reopen. I'm literally busted. This had happened in a blink of an eye. I turned my head, and I just see this guy like he was charging like a hyena looking for prey. I kid you not. He jumps over the passenger seat, half his body laying on top of mine, grabs my face and shoves his tongue in my mouth. Not just a little peck, you know, a little sweet peck. Nope. His tongue. He shoved his tongue in my mouth. Okay, get it together, Leah. It just makes me angry because if a girl wants to kiss you, she will kiss you. If there's that innuendo, then you will just know. But since it wasn't there, it really was disappointing that he did this. I'm not even gonna lie. He starts kissing me, and I'm just there in shock. So I didn't push him off right away because I was genuinely just in like shock. Like I legit saw him like get into his car, and then all of a sudden he's running back into mine. But I do remember I did pull back, and I was like, whoa, you wanted to kiss me? And he's like, of course I wanted to kiss you. That was like the most amazing kiss. Well, Trevor, you probably ain't kissing much then. Got back in his car and was like, hey, follow me then. So as I'm driving, I get a phone call from him, and he was just telling me how amazing the night was, that he was just like so grateful that I came out. And then I started to feel bad because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I struggle with rejecting people. I didn't know how to tell him like I wasn't feeling it. We're talking on the phone the whole drive, which was probably like 15 minutes, and we get off the freeway. I have to pass his job to get to my house. So driving, it's getting near to his job, and he's like, hey, you know what, like I have my own room here. It's like a hotel room. I think you would really like it. Stay with me for the night. I think we could have fun. I'm not that type of girl, so I didn't even like that he thought I could be, and I was like, absolutely not. He gets to his job, we hang up the phone, and I'm thinking that I will never go on a date with this guy again. Then I went on a date with him again. Great. Okay, that's the end of the story. When he came back in town the second time, I was just like, you know what? Maybe it was just a really bad first impression. So I told him that, you know, I just don't see this working out. I just think that we're two different people. And that was that. My camera's about to die. Thank you guys so much for watching. There will be so many more story times to come. But like always, stay safe, stay positive, and I will be seeing you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.